on the great U.S. divide of the need for a rate increase versus stability, as we see with Draghi, or the need for a rate cut at some point in the United States. I've never seen the gap so big. How do you see this right now? Is it a Grand Canyon gap, or is there really a middle ground?
Well, the middle ground is where we are, which is that the likelihood of a cut or a hike is extremely remote, I think, at this point. So I think the problem for the Fed is their inflation forecast is way too high. So we think core PCE will be lucky if we get to about 1.8 by the end of the year. Now they're forecasting 2. So, difficult for them to really hike. And then, of course, on the other side, their own summary of economic projections has them hiking into an unemployment increase next year. So they would need to see a much worse economic environment to actually contemplate cutting. Is
the ECB boxed in the same way? I mean, it just as a point, we get the dots, we get the inflation forecast. In the U.S., does Draghi have an inflation forecast?
Well, they have one, but of course, on their own projection horizon, they don't actually get back to target. So they boxed themselves in. They based on, I think, what they were seeing in inflation, they decided to pause and move back to calendar-based guidance. So they're now locked in for the rest of the year. They can't move. So normalization at the earliest, I think, is now sometime first half of next year. So like the Fed, they're just in wait-and-see mode.